So hello everybody and welcome. Thank you for joining our pitch session. I'm Pierre Leclercq, VP of Business Development for Mark VII. And today we have a big question. Why should I convert my in-bay automatic into a tunnel? Big question. Many in-bay automatic operators or new investors in the car wash industry have that in mind. Should I go in-bay automatic? Should I go tunnel? I've got an in-bay automatic. Should I convert to a mini tunnel? I hear that a lot. Mark VII is a market leader in the C-store industry for car wash. We still have, of course, a very high demand for in-bay automatics, but more and more, especially during the last 2 years, we have this question about what is the best for my business. So here, in just 20 minutes, I'm going to share with you some insights about how to make this best decision for your car wash business. First of all, in a way, the why. Why changing your car wash business? Make more money. That would be the first obvious answer. Fight back the competition. Anticipate some change in the market trends. These three questions, these 3 points, are not specific to the car wash. Every entrepreneur should ask himself, how can I do better with my current business? If we focus on the money, make more money. In the car wash industry, we have a pretty basic formula, or revenue, it's a volume times the average price plus our memberships. So in the next slides, let's try to see how the type of equipment can influence your choice and the revenue you make with your car wash. Going to go fast on that, but very quickly on the in-bay automatic. Pro and cons. You know that for the one who own some car wash. Some of you here are new car wash operators. In-bay automatic, the pros, 24/7 operations, unmanned, short access lane, small building, easy loading. The cons, longer wash duration. Only one car at a time. And if you want to create some upsell options, you need more washing time because you need your rollover to take more pass on the car. Tunnels. Pros, way faster wash duration, several cars at a time at the same moment, so higher throughput, and you can also absorb all the impact of the unlimited memberships way easily compared to an in-bay automatic. The cons, most of the tunnels operate with an attendant, different to the in-bay automatic. You need a longer bay, you need a longer entrance lane. Loading on the conveyor can be challenging for some customers. And the more options you want, the more space you need, because you need more equipment, more arches. So, why changing your in-bay automatic? First of all, some sites are a perfect fit for in-bay automatics. Okay, it's not against. It's a complement to tunnels, and in-bay automatics and tunnels can live together perfectly well in our car wash business. So if your site is doing less than 1,200 wash a month, I will not recommend to go with a tunnel. If you don't have a straight shot to the car wash bay, that's going to be complex. I will not recommend. And if you have a small car wash bay, same thing, I will not recommend to do it. So once again, in-bay automatic can still be a great solution for your car wash business. However, some sites should seriously consider to convert to tunnel if your in-bay automatic is at capacity, if you have frequent long line bottlenecks on busy days, if you already see that your competition is capturing some of your customer base, especially with the memberships, and if you want to compete against these long tunnels. Next slide, especially if you are a C-store operator. More car wash creates more traffic in your C-store. That's very important for C-store operators and gas stations. You can discount your gas. We have many customers, they give 20 cents a gallon discount when some customers are buying the car wash. So that's a big incentive to go to the gas station. You create also the feel that on your C-store is going to be my place. I'm going there to refuel, I'm going there to buy some water, a coffee, some chocolate bars, wash my car. So you create this atmosphere about being my place, my destination place, and it gives you some cross-marketing opportunities also. So for C-store customers, it's very important to create some car wash business, car wash traffic, sorry. So if you decide to convert your in-bay automatic or to do directly from the beginning, go with a mini tunnel, what will be different? Basically, you will wash more cars. 3 to 6 minutes per wash for an in-bay automatic. So if you have 6 cars in line, that will be 30, 45 minutes waiting time for your customers. That's long. On a tunnel, technically, you can load a new car every 40, 45, 50 seconds. Multiple cars in the bay at the same moment. The line is always moving, so the perception is also very important for your customers. 6 cars in line, 4 to 6 waiting time for your customers. However, there is a but each time, It's potentially more cost. You might need to have an attendant. We will discuss that in a few minutes. And the equipment is also more expensive compared to in-bay automatic. So once again, it's also a question of return on investment. So now let's talk about the how to do that. First of all, before to talk about the equipment, let's talk about the site in itself. Before the car wash bay, extremely important. Loading on the conveyor, regardless if it's a belt or a conveyor, classic conveyor, should be as easy as possible for your customers. If they struggle to load, you will lose some business. So you need a straight shot to the conveyor entrance. We recommend 50 feet between the outside of the curve to the start of the conveyor. That's going to be fantastic. 40 still works. 35, it's going to be challenging. Some customers, especially the one with long pickup trucks, are going to struggle to get a line and load on the conveyor. So here, some views. Here it's an existing in-bay automatic. This one is a clear yes, that's easy, straight shot, bam, easy to load. Something like this one on the bottom left, you can see even here, it's an in-bay automatic, long bay, but the cars are not straight. It's going to be challenging. We can overcome that to do the loading inside the building and give more space to the customer to align, but it's going to be more challenging. So an easy conversion will be top left, long straight shot. Now that we talk about the site, let's talk about into the car wash bay. Into the car wash bay, at Mark VII, we have different solutions. Our super mini tunnel, 37 foot long, loading outside the conveyor. I will not recommend to go smaller than that. You will compromise something. Cleaning, drying, something is going to be compromised. 37 is our bare minimum. 15 feet wide, 12 feet high. If you have 50, that's good. 60 is even better. Anything smaller than 50 foot long for a bay, you load the cars outside and you keep the building only for your car wash equipment. You will need to use every inch of space for your car wash equipment in the bay. If you have more space, here it's an example of a 60 foot long bay. It creates more space. So going back to the choice of equipment, more space means more options. Here on this one, we have some high pressure options, some premium wax, some tire shiner, a bigger dryer. So it creates also for you the opportunity to upsell and have a higher average price because you can bring more options in the bay. The previous one, the Super Mini, will be very limited in terms of upselling opportunities. Now, if we continue about the how, the conveyor, of course, will be the next big topic. 3 options. Or you can go with a classic over-under, on-demand roller conveyor. Good things about that type of equipment, it's the industry standard for the last 30 years. We have a lot of visibility on the durability of this equipment. And you have the possibility, as you can see on the left side of the slides, to install the pay station on the side of the conveyor, which is something I would recommend if you want to operate unmanned. Because if you do that, you create a sequence for your customers. The customers are going first to focus on loading on the conveyor. They are not going to be focused on paying whatsoever. They will see the pay stations that they will stop. They can pay. They can put their car in neutral. The payment system will even tell them what they have to do, and then the car can be pushed. So this type of roller conveyor for unmanned sites is a very good option. The cons of this type of situation, of course, it requires to dig a trench. You need from 15 to 25 feet before the start of the car wash, which is a loading space. You need to give enough space for the rollers to come from under the conveyor. The loading can be intimidating for some customers. And let's face it, it's kind of an older look compared to more modern solutions like I'm going to present next, the belt. So option number 2, belt conveyor. Here on this slide, it's an in-ground belt conveyor, a conversion that we did. It was an in-bay automatic bay. As you can see, they did a lot of concrete work. They dig a trench and install this dual belt. It's a lot of work, but the result is super nice. So the belt in itself, 8 to 10 feet longer compared to the car wash package. So it's more compact. You don't need this 15 or 25 like you need for a roller conveyor. It has a modern look. And for your customers, it's way easier to load. Customers love belts. Cons, it requires to dig a trench on a large one. It's more expensive. And it's not possible to install the kiosk on the side of the belt because the belt is always moving, so you can't have the on-demand sequence that I explained previously for unmanned operations. The third option that you have, above ground belt. So that's interesting. As you can see on the left, top left picture, you don't need to dig a trench. It has still the modern look of the dual belt. So you keep the easy to load that you have with belt. The cons of this type of technology, it's new. It's a new technology. We have less visibility compared to everything else that I described before. This type of belt is 8 inches above ground. So if you want to keep the same vehicle clearance, you need to put your equipment on risers, and you need to have a ceiling a little bit higher than the standard bay to keep the same vehicle clearance. And here, as you can see on this example, you need to build an access ramp. It can be like here, concrete, or you can see in the back a mix of metallic structure and grating on top of it to allow the cars to reach this belt, which is 8 inches above ground. Now that we talk about the solutions, I'm going to share some advice about how to do it right. Mentioned it already, get the entrance layout right. You don't want to be in a situation like that. Situation like that, extremely complex to load. The 90-degree turn that you have to do here is going to be very complex. But these things can be fixed. Specifically on this side, they did a very good job. They did this kind of, I don't know how to name that, to be honest, this kind of concrete bumpy floor with some plastic posts to force the customer to go on the outside of the curb and then do their 90-degree turn. So everything is possible, but once again, if you have a straight shot, that's way easier, but there is some solutions here. My second advice would be the payment processing. Select fast payment processing. If you had an in-bay automatic in the past, your bottleneck was your in-bay automatic. If you have a tunnel, it's not the equipment anymore, your bottleneck. It can be the pay station. So careful about that. On average, a cash customer, 1 minute 30 to pay. The time to take the wallet, find the cash, and so on, 1 minute 30. Credit card, 50 seconds. Code, you bought a code at the pay station or at the C-store, 30 seconds. Your phone, an app phone, 20 seconds. RFID, license plate recognition, 10 seconds. So you need to think about that on how you optimize your flow. And if you can get rid of cash, do it, because that's very long to pay. 2 payment lanes is possible, that's even better. If you can't, you can't. So important to incentivize for gas station to have codes at the pump or at the C-store. Fast credit card processor. There is different type of credit card processor. Some are very fast, some are super slow. So pay attention to that and push for the memberships to have a higher throughput. Third advice, help your customer to load, especially if you are doing unmanned. You can see here on the left picture, on the right picture, some mirrors on in the front of the building to help the customer align their car. Plastic posts, guide rails, everything that helps the customer to feel safe and load on the conveyor, do it. That's a must. Fourth advice, inform your customer clearly on what they have to do. There is now a lot of companies that are doing this type of smart signage, these big LED TVs, where you can live give some information. The one on the left, please pull forward up to the moment where you cross some photo eyes. The screen will change, stop, put your car in neutral. Use that. Customer needs to feel safe, and they are going to be a little bit stressed to start their car wash. So use all this type of smart signage. That's very, very important. The one on the right, it's kind of the older look. If you can't put the TV, that's already something, but I would really recommend to go with a smart signage. Fifth advice, clean, bright, attractive bay. You know that if you are a car wash operator, but I'm going to say it again, especially if you replace an in-bay automatic with a tunnel, that's the opportunity to redo your walls. Clean, white paneling, bright lights on the ceiling, on the walls, on the equipment. Everything that makes your car wash attractive will be a plus. Sixth advice, especially if you are going with an unmanned operations. We know that cars have different shapes, different conditions. Some have trailer hitch, roof rack, and so on. You have a loader if you are operated manned, but they can make some mistakes. If you operate unmanned, there is no loader. So find an equipment with what we call integrated control technology, which means very safe operation. At Mark VII, and please join at our booth, we can show you it live. We have some equipment with VFD controls on each motor. The moment the torque of the motor increases, it means that something is happening and the brushes are retracting. So it's very safe and it reduces your damage claims risk, especially once again if you operate unmanned. Final advice. Your core business is a clean, dry, shiny cars. Never deviate from that. That's your core business. So select the right equipment. I will recommend to go with a roof brush for cleaning. Meter curtains are okay for wax application, cleaning, roof brush. Tall, large brushes. A good rinse. You can complain as much as you want for the drying quality. If you don't rinse your car properly, that's one of the main reasons. So good rinse. Rain bars to avoid any mist, especially if you have a short bay. Use a lot of rain bars and not a high pressure rinse. An efficient chemical package, of course, and powerful dryer. And I will just finish with two things, Don't rush it. We know that you want to wash as many cars as possible, but I will recommend to shoot for a 2-minute 40, 2-minute 45 wash. And it's not just like that. There is some calculation behind. I don't know if you can see it well, but roughly 20 seconds between the first chemical application and touching the car with the brushes. 1 minute 30 of brush time. Go to every in-bay automatic with brushes. The car is going to be brushed roughly with 1 minute 30. Then rinse, wax application, drying, 35 seconds. At the end, 2 minutes 30. Can you do 220? You can. But something is going to happen. Something is going to be, or the car is going to be less clean or less dry. 2 minute 40 is really my recommendation. And my final slide, and it's very small, so I don't even know if you can see something, the return on investment. So there is 2 columns here for those who can read it, in-bay automatic and tunnel, side by side. Standard prices, every tunnel is different, every in-bay automatic is different, but these prices make sense, Of course, on the equipment cost, advantage in-bay automatic. It's cheaper to invest in in-bay automatic compared to a tunnel, especially here We added the cost of the concrete ramp. We added the cost of the license plate recognition system, so it's more expensive. Cars per hour. Clear advantage to the tunnel. That's the whole point of the solution. Wash more cars. So in terms of wash per year, clear advantage to the tunnel. And here we didn't put some crazy numbers, our simulation here is based on a 1,300 wash per month for an in-bay automatic compared to a 5,000 wash per month for a tunnels. So it's not crazy high numbers. So in terms of revenue, of course, advantage to the tunnel. In terms of operating cost and cost also of the transition, advantage in bay automatic, because here we put the cost of an attendant and we put the cost of the concrete, so you will spend more money. But at the end of the day, the revenue that you will generate compared to the cost of going with a tunnel, the advantage is clearly for the tunnel. Once again, if you have the potential, that's very, very important. We have some customers with in-bay automatic that are doing 1,000, 1,200 per month and are super happy about their investment. It's a question of return on investment. But if you have the possibility, tunnel will give you a great advantage. And if you compare, and we can share some more details with you, if you reach these numbers in 1 year, the extra cost to build the concrete, to invest in the equipment can be offset in 1 year. So that's really fast.